What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics. Today I got a Jason Isbell reaction/review of a concert I attended on April 6, 2025 in Durant, Oklahoma at Choctaw Casino. It's been 6 days since I was at this concert. I gave it some time. You guys know how it is. You go to concerts, you have that concert high. That's how I describe it. Like afterwards, you're like, that's fantastic. The next day, you're coming off, you're kind of a little depressed. Like, man, I wish I could go back. But after 6 days, you've kind of let that calm down, and maybe your objectiveness has overcome that emotion. So I want to give you a review. First of all, I'll tell you this, full disclosure, I love Jason Isbell. He's my second favorite artist, maybe of all time now, behind Bruce Springsteen, and he's gaining. So I just got to say that. It's my third time I've seen him. I've seen him the last 2 years. First time I saw him in a standing room only place, and we were in the back. And even though he sounded great, that's not a great experience. The second time I saw him last year was at a place here in Dallas called the Majestic Theater. It's a really old theater downtown, holds about 2,000 people. It's good. It's older. We were up high, but it's small. But I mean, it's a theater. So it was good. But this by far, I'm going to just break down. The venue was fantastic. I'm going to put a picture kind of the venue before, because you can't take pictures. Video, I'll get to that in a second. But we were sitting in the 200 levels. The 100 levels were just folding chairs that people were sitting in side by side. That would be horrible. We were on risers, so like the seats were graduated so you could see. I saw some people on the Jason Reddit say that it was really hot in there. That had to be the people that were sitting down below, because it was perfect. The sound was perfect. You get to the show. It's supposed to start at 7. Started at 7:15. Not bad at all. No openers. It's an evening with Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. It's only their fourth concert. They played Austin for 3 straight days, and then this was the fourth day in a row they played. Jason was on his solo show for Foxes in the Snow before this. So going into the concert, I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't play a lot from that album. Fits, as we're going to call it, because I really like that album, but it took me a little bit to grow on me, but I really, really like it. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know what, I want to hear something banging with the band. Boy, was I mistaken on that, because they opened the show with Crimson and Clay, which is a new track off Fits. But the band arrangement on all of these songs, I'm going to say something that some of you who love Fits may think is crazy. It sounded better with the band, and I'll get into a couple that sounded absolutely fantastic. But Crimson and Clay, then we went to 24 Frames, then we had Only Children, then we had Overseas, then Traveling Alone might be my favorite song on Southeastern. I know that's a hot take because everybody loves Covering Me Up. And then we went to This Ain't It, and Jason and Sadler had a 3-minute dual guitar solo. And it was like, you're not going to see any better musicianship than that. The band was full on the whole night. They were fantastic. Jason is a great guitarist, and some people argue with that. He doesn't have to do the solos. He's not shredding stuff. He's not Mark Tremonti, who's one of the best guitarists you'll ever see, who I've seen play 3 or 4 times. Like, it's different. But his musician, his technical ability, his ability to go from the electric to the acoustic to the slide and do it with such fantastic precision. And some of you got to super appreciate it. You can only appreciate it if you're there live, feeling it in the moment. But Sadler is fantastic as well. So to have 2 guitarists of that level right there. Then we went to Bury Me, which is the opener on Fits, and it was so good. Dreamsicle, Eileen, we went a little acoustic there. That's another Fits song, but it sounded great. Then we went to Stockholm, Flying Over Water. Then we had a little Weather Vanes in here. We had Middle of the Morning and Cast Iron Skillet, one of the best written songs Jason's ever done. I'll get into what I think of his writing in a minute. The classic Alabama Pines, you got to have it. I just love the vibe of that song. Then we had Open and Close, another song on Fits. If We Were Vampires, still playing that. Gravelweed, which is my favorite or second favorite song off of the new album. But this was so fast. We came in with a huge electric guitar punch on the chorus. I would love to have this song in any way, shape, or form. I'll get to why you can't have it anywhere right now in a second. Then we finished the proper show with Decoration Day, which I didn't get to see in his other 2 performances, so I was super happy about that. The encore couldn't have been better. We got Ride to Roberts acoustic off Fits, and then the 2 songs I was hoping, I looked at my wife when they were going to the encore. I said, I hope they play True Believer, and I hope they play King of Oklahoma. And those are the last 2 songs. We did True Believer, my favorite song off Fits. It's the next to the last song. And then King of Oklahoma, which I don't know if it gets any better than that in a live performance with Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, the King of Oklahoma. And we're actually in Oklahoma. I live in Dallas, but we're in Oklahoma for the show. It was just tremendous. It was an hour, 47 minutes long. The show was. The sound was great. They got it dialed in after the first. Every Jason show I've been to, the first song, you've got to you sound check it, but it's different with people in there. They got everything right. The musicianship was top notch. He sounded great. I read some stuff that he worked with Bon Jovi's vocal coach last year, and I think he sounded even better. Not that I ever thought he sounded bad, but kudos to Jason being this accomplished and still trying to improve. Had a strong rule, no pics, no videos. That's why you can't find Gravel Weed or any of these on YouTube. And I loved it. I loved it because you can just be in the moment. You guys know what it's like. We all got these things. People are filming during every song. It just becomes super distracting. You got to be in the moment. And the moment was great. And I don't throw around that word very often. I have 3,300 videos up. I listen to everything. I'm always very objective. Try to not be too subjective. It's hard when somebody's your favorite. So for me, this show was a 10 out of 10 for several reasons. One, the venue was perfect. They sounded great. The musicianship was absolutely top notch. I think Jason's the best lyricist of this century. That is a strong statement. I'm huge on songwriting. Dylan's the greatest lyricist of all time. I won't even have a discussion with it. It's not even close. But Jason is fantastic. And I think the other thing that plays into this is Jason is at his peak. He's been at his peak for a little bit, but he's at his peak. I was fortunate to see Bruce Springsteen a couple years ago, and Bruce put on a fantastic show. Bruce was 73 years old at the time. I was fortunate to see Paul McCartney 5 years ago, but Paul was in his late 70s at the time. It's different. You're seeing a prime musician, a prime songwriter in his peak era. It was just fantastic. The energy and everything else. The crowd was pretty good. They could have been a little more live, but they were pretty good. But I loved it. I loved it. So if you can go see Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, I cannot recommend it enough. It's crazy to me how many people have no idea who Jason is. People I told I was going to the concert, no one knows who he is. I don't know how they can't know who he is. He's got 2 million Spotify lists. It's not like Jason's huge. He's only ever had one gold album, and that was Southeastern, and that didn't happen that long ago with 500,000 in sales. But the people who love Jason, I think, really love him. But this was fantastic. Like, I can't speak highly enough of it. Go see him. Go drag people who don't know him there, and I think they'll become a fan. If they love music, they'll become a fan. But if you were there, or if you've gone to other Jason shows for this tour, or if you were lucky enough to go just to an evening with Jason Isbell where he played the new album acoustic, I'm jealous of you. There was nowhere around here that it was close. Let me know what you thought of those shows. Super appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. It helps me out. And until next time, guys, I will see you.